and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can see a lot of like your cars are out there actually hydroplaning. I think it's a dangerous situation.
Mom home?
She's on her way, bud.
Hey, hon. It's nasty out there.
Yeah, I'm glad you're home.
Stay safe.
I will. Tell them to save me some.
When others head in, we head out. Dominion Energy.
I'm here.
Register today or generously donate at csrawalkforwater.org. CSRA Walk for Water 2023, Saturday, November 18th.
The Columbia County Fair, brought to you by the Merchants Association of Columbia County. Trust Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for your first alert. You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
Okay, it's warmer now, but it certainly was not this morning. How is it looking tomorrow, Riley?
There, it is looking like it is going to be a very frigid start to our Thursday. Update on some warmer temps this weekend, just about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. Tonight, the community will gather to remember a Columbia County bus driver who died recently from cancer. She was called a light in her community. For a lot of kids, she was the very first face they saw on their way to school. Our Nick Veland joins us now live from Grovetown Middle School, where there was a final call for Heather Walls.
That's right, Meredith. Around 2 o'clock, Heather Walls' names got called out throughout all of these buses one final time to honor her. Throughout her 10 years of driving here at Grovetown Middle, she drove hundreds of kids, and those closest to her say that she'll forever be missed. She was considered a comedian and loved to go to the beach. In 2021, she was diagnosed with cancer. Her sister, Shonda Fullwood, was with her every step of the way with her fight with cancer. They both were bus drivers for Grovetown Middle School and Cedar Ridge Elementary. They did everything together, and she says that her sister fought until the end.
When she couldn't get out of the bed and do for herself, she told me, I'm just tired. But, you know, I can understand that because it was a rough battle for all of us. But yeah, she didn't want to give up. She didn't. But in the end, that's what, you know, she was tired of it. Her body hurt. She's in a better place now.
And she'll be honored even more tonight at 6 o'clock. There will be a balloon release right here at Grovetown Middle School. And coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, I'll have more on the impact she had by being a bus driver.
She impacted so many kids throughout the years. Thanks, Nick, for that story. Representatives with the Georgia Secretary of State's office gave the State of the Office presser today in Atlanta. But first, the ACLU of Georgia wrote a letter to Columbia County about its plan to use Eagle AI technology as its voter software. In a statement, the group listed its concerns that the network can violate their National Voter Registration Act, data privacy laws, and anti-discrimination laws. Meanwhile, Gabriel Sterling with the office addressed the results of the elections trial in Atlanta.
If you didn't believe the 3 recounts, if you didn't believe the investigations, if you didn't believe the court cases, this check shows you. She says, yes, I lied. Some other co-conspirators have also admitted they lied.
He is referring to Sidney Powell, one of former President Trump's attorneys who wrote a nearly $3,000 check as part of her guilty plea. Election Day, by the way, is coming up next Tuesday. Researchers at the University of Georgia, they are busy bees right now trying to figure out how to curb the latest species of invasive hornets to hit Georgia. More nests of yellow-legged hornets were just found in Savannah. Tonight, Atticasaurus takes us inside the lab studying these insects.
This is the bee lab on the University of Georgia's campus. Researchers here receiving pieces of those nests and some larvae to figure out how these yellow-legged hornets got here and how we can keep them from sticking around. Just one of these yellow-legged hornets is capable of killing an entire colony of honeybees.
These hornets will intercept bees mid-flight, and they'll hover outside the entrances of colonies like this behind me and intercept the bees as they're returning.
Researcher Lewis Bartlett says the invasive species likely came to Savannah on a container ship. They are an imminent threat to the state's #1 industry, agriculture.
But just disrupts the beekeeping operations very drastically.
He says it's urgent to find and kill these disruptors. 3 more nests found in South Georgia bring the total found to 5. They're finding the nests by tracking individual hornets with radio backpacks. A lone hornet can lead a team to a hive of thousands.
Having pinned the hornets against the coast already successfully, really it's going to be down to the beekeepers of Georgia who are going to be the #1 weapon against them going into next year.
The good news, teams don't suspect the hornets have mated and produced next year's offspring. The yellow-legged hornet has spread throughout Europe. Bartlett has hope that Georgia will be the first to eradicate it. Bartlett says that if you think that you see a yellow-legged hornet, to take a video or a picture and send it to the Department of Agriculture's website. In Watkinsville, I'm Abby Kasoris.
Quilts for Veterans has a chapter right here in Augusta. Every third Tuesday, the Ladies of Valor create a quilt of valor to give to a service member or veteran who's been touched by war. They've been creating the quilts for more than 10 years now, using them as a way to say thank you and a way to provide something long-lasting for our service members. Strom Thurmond Theater presents Little Shop of Horrors this weekend, and this is important. There will be a very special eye in the crowd. The Saturday show will have a talent evaluator from the New York Conservatory of the Dramatic Arts. Last fall's production of Beauty and the Beast had an evaluator come. It resulted in more than $50,000 in scholarships. The students will perform this weekend and next weekend. Break a leg, y'all. Preps for Augusta's first tiny home community are in progress. We've got an update on it coming up. Riley?
Freeze warnings in effect tonight into early Thursday, and we'll likely see a couple mornings in a row below freezing. I'll look at that cold forecast just after the break.
This former car dealership sparked an idea of the future with a fully involved automotive program at Augusta Tech. Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're giving you an inside look into what students are calling their future playground.
That's when the warmer temps to arrive. We'll see the low to mid-70s Saturday, Sunday afternoon. And remember, we do fall back Saturday night.
All right, we'll take any extra time we can get on a weekend. Thanks, Riley. The first college football playoff rankings of 2023 are out. And according to the selection committee, the 2-time defending national champions are not the #1 team in the nation. News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth joins us now to tell us how this impacts the Georgia Bulldogs moving forward. Dan, say it ain't so.
Meredith, much to the dismay of Georgia fans, the Bulldogs are sitting at #2 in the college football playoff rankings, only behind Ohio State, who at the moment are the new top team. You might remember when these rankings were initially released last year, the Dogs came in at #3, and whether or not Kirby Smart publicly acknowledged it, that was some solid billboard material for the team to rally behind heading into their dominant performance against Tennessee. In a similar situation, this Saturday, the Dogs will face #12 Missouri between the hedges, giving the Dogs a chance to prove themselves to the committee and extend their home winning streak.
We beat the hell out of each other out there at practice, and we want to put a good product on the field. We want to defend our turf. We feel like the championship teams at Georgia have not lost at home, and so you better not lose at home if you want to be a championship program.
Kickoff between the Dogs and Missouri is set for Saturday at 3:30. I'll have a full breakdown from Between the Hedges after the game. And speaking of something that's highly anticipated, the Under the Lights top 5 plays of the week from Week 11 are coming your way in just a little while on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
We can't wait. Thank you, Dan. Nationally, 50% of teenagers who age out of the foster care system will be homeless within 6 months, just half a year. The goal is to help 18 to 25-year-olds aging out of the system reach their full potential by providing safe, affordable housing and life skills. Here's Taylor Martin.
It's been about a year since commissioners passed the tiny home ordinance saying every tiny home in Augusta has to be within a village. And by the fourth quarter of 2024, leaders with the Bridge Builder community say that's exactly what you'll see here behind me, giving teens transitioning out of foster care a place they can call home. What's now an empty field on Mary Street in Augusta will be filled with 25 tiny homes just like these.
They can stay with us for up to 3 years. While they're here, they'll complete their life skills training. They'll complete their school, their education, the workforce initiatives, and we'll give them all the tips and tools they need to transition successfully to adulthood.
With a $50,000 donation from healthcare provider CareSource, they're one step closer to making that a reality.
We don't provide the kind of supports that kids need, and this is the kind of effort that we really need to invest in.
Mental illness, homelessness, and lack of stability. They're all issues Jackson saw within his own family members in foster care growing up.
And so it just kind of became my burden to bear as a teenager.
Now with the support of the city and commissioners like Jordan Johnson, safe and affordable housing for youth will be planted right here as Augusta's first tiny home community. If you'd like to learn more about the Bridge Builder community or help out, we'll have more information on our website, wrdw.com. Reporting in Augusta, Taylor Martin, on your side.
They hope to have teenagers moving toward the latter half of 2024. It is going to be gated, they say, and will have security too, so these young adults can feel safe as they start their new lives. The feds give their latest decision on interest rates, and it absolutely affects you. How and why when we come back.
And we do have some cold mornings Thursday and Friday down below freezing. Make sure you're protecting your sensitive plants and pets. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast again just after the break.
Reuben Superstore, whatever it takes. RineRPaid.com. Click, click.
The Federal Reserve is holding interest rates steady for the second time. The U.S. economy had a strong third quarter, thanks in large part to strong consumer spending. But even if interest rates hold still, they're still at a level not seen in 22 years. Some analysts say that could cause some financial concerns. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates 11 times since March of last year, with a 12th hike possible in December. It's estimated 70% of Americans do not have a last will and testament. Very few people have even thought about leaving behind some of the important things they have stored in their phone. All those photos, notes, documents, all that personal data on a smartphone, it could be locked away forever. But as our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker shows us, if that information is on an iPhone, there is something you can do.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
When you think about just how much of our lives are on our phones, you realize how important it would be to leave behind all of that data for someone in your family in case something happens to you. You can't do that unless you have an Apple Legacy Contact. Legacy Contacts can access all of the data you have in your phone and in the iCloud, the photos, notes, documents, contacts, calendars, and other personal data that would be important to family members. Now, to choose a Legacy Contact, go to Settings, your ID, and then sign in Security. Look for Legacy Contacts. You can add them here. People you have in family sharing are automatically listed, and you can also choose someone else in your contacts. You'll be asked to share with them an access key, a long string of letters, numbers, and special characters. They can also use a QR code that you can print out. This is a good idea if they don't have an iPhone or an Apple account. Now, if something happens to you, they can scan the code and send a copy of the death certificate to Apple, at which time Apple will unlock the phone and allow them to download your data. Apple famously will not unlock an iPhone or an Apple ID under any circumstance unless you have that Apple Legacy Contact set up, something very important for you and the rest of your family. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Many estate planners and family lawyers are now paying particular attention to a person's digital information. You can also include Apple's Legacy Contact and the QR code with a family attorney or with the will. We're back in a bit.
Your home.
My dad.
Samuel Adams is bringing back its ultra-strong beer Utopias. It is so strong, it cannot be sold in 15 states, including Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, and North Carolina. The closest states where it's not banned, Florida and Tennessee. It has an alcohol level of 28% ABV. Utopias are meant to be consumed in small servings at room temperature. Sam Adams first released the beer in 2021. Don't know if we can actually call it a beer then, if it's that strong.
And room temp.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Starbucks is already feeling its Christmas spirit. It is kicking off the holidays this week with seasonal cups. Starting tomorrow, hot drinks will be served in 4 festive cups decorated in holiday red and Starbucks green, complete with a magenta accent thrown in. Starbucks says it lifts the traditional colors and makes the red even brighter. Its iced drinks are getting a makeover as well, with playful baubles and sparkles. Last year, Starbucks revenue grew 14% over the previous holiday season. I mean, Halloween's over, so it's about that time, Riley.
I guess it's Christmas time now, right?
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving-mas?
Yeah, I like that. I saw a few people actually playing Christmas music already, so.
No.
You start the month of November, do you not get the green light? Maybe?
No, you do. You do. I think that's fine. I'm going to
2 months.
confess that my Christmas tree is up.
You know, I think that's honestly the best thing, because then you get to enjoy it for longer.
Thank you.
It keeps you in the festive spirit earlier. I'm a huge fan of putting up the Christmas tree early.
Yeah, and I'm not going to have Thanksgiving at my house, so it's not going to be weird to have 2 holidays in one.
There you go. Yeah. And it's definitely feeling like Christmas time out there this afternoon. We have sunshine and chilly temps in the 50s. A live look from our Beach Island camera. 53 right now, and we still got a good steady northeast wind, so that's going to make it feel just a little bit cooler for us. If you're heading out this evening, temperatures will drop very quickly. We'll see the 40s by around 7 o'clock and then dropping below freezing as we head into late tonight and early tomorrow. So definitely bundle up if you're going to be stepping out. Fair does start tomorrow night. We got great fair weather the next couple of days. We're going to hang on to dry weather all the way through this weekend.
All right, thanks, Riley. Please no hate for my Christmas tree being up. I don't subject my neighbors to it. It's just in the den. No one can see it but us. News 12 at 6 o'clock is next.
This is not